What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of March 5th and the 6th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all very much. I hope you're doing well out there and ready for this weekend that we're about to step into. So, Saturday is pretty cool. It is still a Sun-Jupiter conjunction. They're going to be at 15 degrees of Pisces. Jupiter just hit that 15th degree right after the Sun did. They did conjunct at 14 degrees on Friday, of course, but this is definitely starting the progression forward of this next year. A little bit more of our life here, and it is very Piscean, very sensitive, but I think even Friday could have felt like a high sensitive day. I mean, this is Jupiter amplifying a lot of emotion here in Pisces, so kind of trying to navigate these very deep waters within ourselves and where are they going to go. And it was very mental and cerebral, and it stays cerebral this weekend, especially coming into this Saturday, because we're going to have Mercury square the nodes. So I think this is a time where we have to kind of get out of our head and trust our emotion. That's where the benefit is. That's where a lot of the gift is going to be, is in following where our spirit is taking us to a lot of the destiny stuff with Venus and Mars at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And the more we can get into our feeling and use that to create something of substance, something of actually like a physical prowess, within the work that we're doing, within the mission, within something. This is a beautiful time for new beginnings. If there was ever a time right now to set intentions for how you can create something that's actually going to bring you abundance and bring you some sense of solid value, and how to, take that initiative to go get it, it is that time. Of course, the moon is in Aries. For this Saturday, it's go time, but that moon's also going to square over to Pluto and finish off the day on Saturday with squares to Mars and Venus. So it's going through it. Of course, it's going to sextile over to Mercury and Saturn, but I think this is where we have to really figure out our desires from within, from our emotions, from our feelings, and identify what those are and get to the creation aspect of it, get out of our head a little bit, or stop trying to fix things. I think, Mercury and Aquarius can want to fix everything, but have we already figured it out? And are we ready to start creating the things that we have figured out? And are we ready to take that emotional action to actually put what the identification is into that physical substance, into whatever it is that is the calling? There's so much of a calling. It's a very intense. It's intense energetically, but I don't know if it's necessarily intense in like a, oh my God kind of way. Maybe it feels that way because we know we have to take action to get out of repeated patterns. So this is like a big weekend of realizing that if you want abundance, you got to do something different. You got to switch up the game a little bit and be willing to identify what it is that needs to be switched up and go for it. I think relationship stuff comes up big about what we're really building towards. Where's the glue in our life right now? Are we with people that are taking us into this beautiful universe, this unconditional love, this something very divine and special? Or are we going back and repeating patterns that maybe we've already realized aren't going to work, but we're still trying to get in our head and be like, well, if I tweak this and tweak that and get in there, like I can fix them. This definitely isn't about fixing other people. South Node's in Scorpio. We can want to obsess and fix other people and get into their psychology all we want, but I'm telling you, this is where you got to get into your individuated sense of what it is that feels like it can be the biggest thing of your destiny and of your mission here. It's very special astrology, don't get me wrong, but I think there's an intensity to it, of course, that's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling, and it's definitely sensitive. But we got to navigate these waters. That's where the gift's at. As we come to Sunday, we see the sun at 16 degrees, which makes a net 7 in Pisces, and it's just coming off that Sun-Jupiter. So Sunday is definitely the sun's day. This is God's sort of day to come through and really have you trust and have faith in the story and the sensitive feelings that were felt on Saturday. And are you ready to kind of go towards those? The moon's going to come into Taurus, and it is going to meet with Uranus, but more importantly, this is an exalted moon here. We really want to take all that, maybe if it was initiative, thought, or feeling from Saturday, and put it to actually like the physical senses of what that's going to be like in our life on Sunday, and make sure that it has the top notch, like we're talking top shelf here. If we're at a bar, we're getting the good stuff. This is not about the meh, it's okay. Like, no, I think we did the deep dive of that with the moon square Pluto, Venus, and Mars. And now it's like, got to go into the future, especially when it comes to relationships, because Venus just passed Mars. They make their conjunction at 0 Aquarius. And of course, this is where Jupiter and Saturn met on December 21st of 2020. So there's a lot about this 0 degree of Aquarius and this powerful individuated sense, because really the first part of Aquarius is very like, you got to find yourself in the collective and not just get lost in the collective. Especially when you look out at the world these days, like, are we going to get lost in that frequency? Or are we going to tune the dial up to a higher frequency and really identify with that and create with that and connect with people that are doing that same thing? And I think that that's where that high value's at. A lot of it is with people and the things that we're creating with people and what that looks like for our future here. And there's something special about whatever it is that you are feeling. You want to identify it and let old cycles dissolve, because God is trying to show you that there's magic at your fingertips right now and that you can literally manifest what that is. But it is different with the Moon-Uranus conjunction that we're going to see by Sunday evening. It is something maybe we haven't tried before. And to not be afraid of what the unknown is, but to be excited for the unknown, because if you don't take that risk for the unknown or for what you really feel called to, especially within those sensitive feelings that you're getting, are you missing out on the greatest accomplishments or achievements that could be out there, because we're looping and we're being the fish and we're going back in this everlasting loop. So I think this weekend's pretty special. And of course, Mercury's going to finish up with its square to the nodes and come to 25 degrees of Aquarius. I think that especially even Mercury at 25 makes a net 7. There's definitely a frequency change that's coming through this weekend, and it's very special. And I hope people want to identify with the uniqueness and what is special and unique to them, and to have the courage to create based on that, and to stop worrying about what everybody else is creating or what everybody else is doing, but to really get back into that unique, individuated sense of who you are and what you feel called to do, as Pluto's getting ready to finish up at 27 degrees and come to 28, which is more new territory that we haven't seen since 1776. So talk about individuated, but of course 1776, there was a Declaration of Independence signed. So are we turning a dial to the next level of our own Declaration of Independence and our sovereignty and what we can create based on that, and knowing our worth and knowing our value, and knowing that the only way to start new cycles is to end old ones, which is Pisces. And it's hard because we can feel neurotic or anxious or lost in this great abyss, but it's about trusting the abyss and realizing that there's something that's always so special in the unknown, even though it can be scary to jump into the unknown. We're in new territory here, especially with Venus and Mars now conjuncting where Jupiter and Saturn did in the December 21st, the winter solstice of 2020. You can't make up the astrology we're living through. It's very synchronistic, divine, whatever you want to call it. We're changing the gears, and I guess it's up to the individual to decide if it's going to be a clunk and we need a new clutch put in, or if we're just going to smoothly transition and shift to where there is so much beauty and so much abundance out there. Or are we just going to fucking like, sometimes we got to grind the gears in to get them in place. And if we're in that position, let's own that. And I think if we can own up to that and the things we really want, we're going to get top shelf quality out of the future that can bring. So, sending you all my best for this weekend. I appreciate you all so much. And I'll be in Sunday for the lives, for the weekly tarot, weekly astro. And it'll be a full marathon because I'm going to end up doing the Monday horoscope too. So, hope you have a great weekend. Until then, Four of Swords. Maybe we need to get back into our sense of a place of really feeling like we can receive these great downloads, kind of disconnecting from the world and get back into where we feel comfortable and, let's find safety in the unknown. But the only way to do that is to come within yourself and to realize mentally that you can change gears. Sometimes it just takes slowing down and a little bit of disconnection from the outer world. Got that because of the Death card. Yeah, there's new beginnings out there that can be absolutely beautiful. You never know what's going to sprout up once, the harvest is done. It's almost like the harvest of the last life that we, had, or the last year, or the last life, whatever it was. Something is ending in that world, and it's nothing to be fearful of. I think it's just about receiving the download of what the next chapter is and what we can do to harvest this next chapter, this next story that can really grow into the best harvest of our lives, especially with a North Node in Taurus. I mean, you can grow the most amazing life right now and really bring that abundance in. But why not believe that story has this top quality to it? Why not believe that you can create anything necessary? And why limit yourself to something of the past when the past is, you have to ask yourself at times, does the past even exist? Six of Swords reversed. I don't think we want to be we don't want to be nervous about going to a better place. Let's accept that there's a better place out there for us, and I think we can all make a tweak in our life, whether it's smooth or clunky, whatever it is, to get us to have the motivation to go see what at least it looks like. And then from there we can adjust based on how that does feel or if it makes sense. And the final one I'm going to pull is the Eight of Cups in reverse. Let's not walk backwards into situations in life that brought uncomfortable just situations. Let's leave the situations in the past that didn't work out and go into the new. There's such a strong intuition this week. It's like we would be so dumb to not listen to that, because our mind is trying to calculate every little equation in the universe like it's above our pay grade. Pay attention to the stuff in your life that you really want, and the stuff you don't want, walk away from it. I hope you have a great weekend. I think that it can be very good. I think that this weekend is a good example of it's what you make it. And are you willing to open up spiritually to the beauty that's in this universe? Or are you going to go into the repetitive process of really the chaos of life? So the frequency is your choice, and you hold that and you wield that power. And I'm wishing you all the best, and I hope you take that next level this weekend. Sending you all my best. Love you all very much. Have a great weekend. Bye.